Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope every well. Hope every well. Hope every. It's all right. I was just focusing on something. Hope everyone's okay. So, I was just looking at this. We've got a channel down here with a break new high and a push down. If we can get a decent second entry short here, that might be interesting. We've got sellers, mind you. We got buyers at around about here. So I'd like to see a little bit more of a push up first, and then a quick drop. Just want to make sure I've got enough points to go short. Beach Bum, how you doing, bud? Nothing I can do there, unfortunately. It didn't break above there. Do I think it's coming down? Quite possibly. I like this. We've got a break new high. Big, strong bar down. Didn't want to take that. It was over 20-odd ticks, and it's close to the open. Let's see what happens here. I do think it's likely to come down and test these lows. 1, 2, 3. Possible triple test there. Trouble is, we're already there, aren't we? I think that's probably going to come down to the lows, but we're already here, and look at the size of it. It did bounce here, so it's hard to know whether we're going to get a little bit of support there, but my guess it's probably going to work, but it hasn't triggered anyway. Richard, how you doing, bud? My guess is probably going to come down, but I'd have preferred a triple test, a little bit more of a test up here somewhere, maybe. Or a fail breakout or something. I didn't think that was a terrible trade. Channel break, new high, cleared any liquidity, big strong move down, but it was about 24 ticks, tick above, tick below, and it's right into the open. So you never quite know what it's going to do. That's holding so far. I'm guessing it probably won't. There would have been some stops there. It's too big there, and you're going short right into there. So for me, it's a no-brainer. I just wouldn't do it. And it's a good job I didn't do it, because it wouldn't have worked. Now, let's see what goes. So about 24, we got sellers around about there. We get a little bit of a fail breakout. It might be a kind of a leg and a leg, or a breakout that may fail. Got to be a bit careful here now. We've made multiple attempts to push down. This thing could push up, at least temporarily. So we got sellers around about there. That to me looks like it's had a break and a new high. Now, even if you draw that as one channel, we got a break and a new high in one bar there, and selling there is quite strong. The only issue I have is there are buyers around about the 16, which is here, not at the lows. So if there's buyers down here, as soon as this thing breaks out, there is buyers, and there's 300 odd contracts waiting to go long there. So we've made multiple attempts to push down there, so I'm not convinced we're going to. Disco, how you doing, bud? I could be wrong, but we'll see. So clearly ranging at the moment. We just need to give this a little bit of time to sort itself out. So there are buyers here. So if we had a second entry out the top and hit them sellers, this might not be a bad option to sell it. It's hard to say at the moment. There are a good chunk of orders there, 329 contracts out there. So if we can get like 2 legs up and touch here and then close bearish. Just check everything's opening as it should.
Order submitted. Order cancelled.
I mean, you may argue that's a triple test. I don't like the bar. It's a doji. It's not strong enough. I'd much prefer this to break above here, clear any previous liquidity. I'm looking for it to hit there and reject strongly. Trouble is, we've made a bunch of attempts to go short here, so there's always a possibility this thing could start to work up. Yeah, this is not rejection, this. Karina, how you doing, kid? Tell you one thing I've been noticing, these numbers are very close, so let me see if I can change the days on that. Maybe it might adjust that number. That's better. That's enough of a difference. So there is a second entry short there on this chart. You could argue that's a triple test. Is that going to work? On this chart, looks like it will. There's going to be stops there, no argument. Yeah, so that one worked, triple test. For some reason, the numbers were almost identical, and I couldn't change it before the open, but now the open's here. It allowed me to change it. Perhaps it's moving a bit quick. So would that have made... Yeah, it would have done. There's going to be stops below here for sure, so you've got to take a good guess it's going to break below there. But it is a bit choppy, so it would have worked anyway. So would I have taken that on there? It's very tempting. We broke above any previous liquidity and ended up on its lows bearish, and we've gone up once, twice. Definitely a triple test at least. So channel with a break. To check everyone is okay and don't move your stops. Absolutely not. I've been trading 1,000 tick more recently. Better set up bars. Yeah, I looked at it before, maybe a couple of years ago. I found when we had a break of a channel and a move up, sometimes you get 3 straight bars here, but on the 1,000, we get a little pullback. So yeah, I mean, as far as Matt says, you can trade price action on any chart, any time frame. So if it's paying off for you, do it. That's what I say. What I decided to do first was trade another chart, i.e. the CL chart. But if I'm struggling, then yeah, I may end up looking at it myself. So this thing is struggling to get below here, isn't it? Thing is, if you look there, there was that's not the open, is it? That was overnight highs, I'm guessing. Yeah, probably overnight highs. And it's kind of bounced off it there and pushed up. So I don't know, a couple legs down. Maybe there's strong buyers there protecting that level down there. But we've definitely bounced on top of this, haven't we? Quite strongly. So I don't know, maybe. Uh, but I've still got buyers down here. There's 200 odd contracts there, and there's 127 contracts there. There's some a little bit below it. So we got quite strong sellers and buyers above price, which is kind of why it's doing this. Uh, so, okay, sometimes. Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? If you switch on to another chart, you might see a trade or two, mightn't you? It's one of those things, isn't it? But I did look once before. I remember posting it on the Facebook group. It's got to have been 2 years ago plus. Just out of curiosity, I think we must have gone through a time like this where we're not getting a huge amount of setups. The way I see it, though, is if I can get a couple of clear winners a week, that will get me good living. So you don't have to take a huge amount, but I think it's more important that they're good uns and hopefully they're payers. You don't really want to take two a week and have one winner and one loser. So if you look on this second chart, we've got two legs down and we've got two legs up there. But it's still choppy. It's readable, but I wouldn't trade it. We've got kind of a leg up there and a leg up there. There is kind of a lower high there, but this is because it's struggling to get down. I don't want to keep trying to short into this bottom. Because you just never know. Once it starts chopping around like this, sometimes you can read it. And we do look like we've got a leg up and a leg up. But it's if you look at the bottom here, we really can't get below that line there. 1, 2, 3, 4. This came down a tick off, very, very strong bullish. So at the moment, I'm not of the opinion that this thing isn't going to go up, or at least a bit higher maybe. But you can see how many times it's hit that level and completely turned. So who knows? And it may have a complete flush down. So the lower high there is triggered, but oh, there we go. Okay, so maybe it was going to come in the end. It was just a matter of time. That's not news. I mean, at the end of the day, I like this channel. We did have a little leg up there and we did chop around for a bit, but eventually it broke the lows. So it did play out in the end. There's nothing I'd have taken on this chart. You can argue it's a triple test. You can argue that one's a triple test. It did make your points, but it didn't flush down. That one did. Trouble is, the bar's not super, is it? It's a tick off a doji. Then you got another doji. So, as much as it looks like we've got two legs, you can argue the toss there, can't you? Easy. But it did what it was supposed to eventually. And it came down with a bit of vigor as well, didn't it? Literally 2 bars when we're there. So who knows? Daryl, how you doing, pal? Ben, sorry, mate, I didn't see you there. I missed anyone. Crypto, oh, no, I never said hello to you. How you doing, buddy? Okay, so what does that look like? Okay to me. Sorry. Just having a quick glance at the CL chart. We got a leg up, little correction, little bit of chop, and eventually off it took. It's not been very good lately, this, to be honest with you. I got a little trade off it yesterday, but apart from that, it's not really been great. But at least the good thing about having 2 charts is you have got double the chance of getting something anyway. So So we may get a second leg out here. Let's have a look. We've been up here for a while. Now, did we? Did we at all-time highs yesterday? I think we did in the end, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Comfortably. Oh no. Oh yes, we did, didn't we? Yes, we did. All-time highs were there. We managed to break above it, and then kind of we had that initial drop when the market opens, a little bit of chopping, and then that took off. I'm guessing that must have been news. I think we had some. Yeah, we had CPI. Okay, so CPI pushed that up strong, right above all-time highs again. So now where do we go? Who knows? Well, there'd have probably been some profit taking all-time highs. You'd have thought so. Maybe there was a bit there. That's why we sold off a touch. CPI shot that up, and then a couple of legs. We've nearly got all of it back. We certainly have now, anyway. So let's get it away. Hmm. I was just looking at the CL chart. I really like that channel. It fits perfectly. Perfect touch, perfect touch, perfect touch, perfect touch. There, there. We've had a little leg down. Maybe we get a second leg down here. We haven't quite got up. Couple of legs down. We'll see. If I take something, I'll bring it in. Okay, no setup really there. We just came down and then straight up. But I did like that. It fits super neat. Fits perfect in this bottom tier. We had a quick push up into the top tier, touched the top, came back and worked perfect in this little tier again, the little lower tier, and we had a break of it and straight up. Unfortunately, we had no entry there really, so nothing we could do. So we got the open here, open stroke overnight highs, clearly playing a part, isn't it, around there? So this thing's coming down. If we got this second entry short, there's a possibility. There's going to be a load of liquidity down here, isn't there? We've broken yesterday's highs, and this is having quite a strong pullback. happens here? Let me have a look. What's Bookmap showing us? The sellers at 25. That's way out of. That's way too high. There are buyers at 707. So there are buyers there, which is below there. That's okay. So I expect price to come down. Trouble is, we need a couple of little legs. We've had a little micro channel with a break. So I'd expect buyers there below this level here because, after a trend, there's bound to be bottom pickers, isn't there? But this thing's coming straight down, unfortunately. Hopefully, we get a little sling up, which I don't think we're going to. Let me just check that chart on here. It looks very different there. Doesn't look terrible there. It's done anyway. It's already down enough. Mm. Nothing I can do at the moment. This looks like a little channel with a break in a new low. Do I think it's going to test these lows? Quite possibly, but that's an inside bar. I just wouldn't short at the moment as we've had a break in a new low. There are buyers at 05 there, slightly larger buyers, so maybe this is going to come down, but it's an inside bar and I don't like it anyway. It looks a little bit sideways to me, so you don't know whether it's going to come down a touch and push up. We could be doing a little bit of that, so I don't really want to short there anyway, even if it did break above it. It's hard to know whether it's going to do this, but it's starting to look like we could get a little bit of sideways to it. Okay, got some news coming up in 5 minutes. It's only medium impact news, but sometimes it does seem to make a difference. Okay, so on this chart, we've got a channel break, 2 pushes, 2 and no low, and we've had a little double bottom here. So that may push up a bit. I say may, I certainly wouldn't take it. It's not easy. You can't really trade this stuff. Same here. It's quite choppy. Overnight we had a load of chop, up, down, a load of chop. Nothing I would have taken in hindsight. There is kind of a leg down, a little second entry there, but it's a bit congested. It's too far from that EMA for me, and you can see it continued sideways a bit before eventually it works down. You get into a trade and it goes sideways. It's not a strong entry really anyway, so I wouldn't have taken that even if it doesn't interest me. So this is starting to resemble a little bit of a range at the moment. See, we've got liquidity here and overnight lows here, so this may be a triple test kind of a scenario, and it may come down. But as we've had this channel with a break and a couple of pushes down, this is a penguins type setup. Sometimes channel break, 2 attempts to go lower, and a reversal. If you look at this, I mean, you certainly wouldn't be surprised if in half an hour's time, why won't that light up? If in half an hour's time, we ended up having something like that. So could very much be rangy. The only reason that shot up was because of the news, but then we had a couple of legs back with the break, and then we came down into this kind of area. So we are definitely finding some resistance down here. So do you really want to short into it? It may rush straight through it, but there's clearly a pattern there. 3 times there, 1, 2, 3 times there. Do I really want to have a go at that? Not really. If you look at this, there's kind of a second entry short there. There's a double bottom. You can recount that. You may even say channel, a couple of legs up, but I'm not shorting into this one. We've already bounced off it 3 times, regardless of whether I don't care whether it rushes down and makes 20 points. It's risky because of those 3 bounces. Okay, medium impact news in 2 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if this launches up above those. Uh, okay, I'll be back in just a quick minute. Okay, sorry about that. I just thought I'd pour myself a single malt. Okay, what the hell's that for? News has already happened. I don't know why it's showing news again. Okay, so now, have we got a larger channel here? One would think so. Possible. Well, this thing's coming down. Oh, there we go. Straight down. No argument there. Right. Let's have a wee look here. Something's going on. Daryl. I said hello to you, Daryl, I think, haven't I? Can you explain what you mean by a leg? Okay. Okay, price, or how price works, generally moves in twos. You get a push up if we're moving up. So if traders buy down here, we get a push up. Often you'll get traders then taking profits, which make the market pull back a bit. And then when it pulls back, you'll get more traders buying again, and that'll push up. So if you can see, can you see this at the overnight stuff? We got 2 legs up and 2 legs down and a retest of this line. Sometimes legs are more clearer than others. Sometimes they're not. But it's not an exact science. But market generally moves in twos. And it helps you understand where price is likely to go. By kind of knowing that. You can see we came down here. We moved down here. Went a little bit of sideways and came down again. So often when we use these measured legs, often it works right to the tick. And look at that. So I can bring this down a touch. If I put that there like that, put that there like that, it's actually a little bit less than a tick, but can you see what I mean? We move down like this. We have a little bit of a pullback, and then we move down again. And traders know this. They understand this, and it helps them where to take profits and where to enter and stuff like that. So that's kind of how that works. I hope I've explained it all right. I'm not the best at explaining things, but I hope that helps. Yeah, basically, it's a measured move. That's what we refer to them as measured moves. 2 legs. Same with that type of thing. Sometimes they're literally tick accurate. Sometimes not so much. That one isn't. But we're testing this area here by the looks of things for me. So we push up. We have 2 legs up. We have 2 legs down. 1 leg up. The second leg looked to me like it was going up. And then we had some news here and that kind of took off. But the same here as well. You can see we got 1 leg down here, a pullback, and a second leg down. So that's kind of how it works. We've got a little leg down there, a pullback, and another little leg. Those little moves look very similar, don't they? So that's kind of how it works. The longer you've been doing it, the more you'll understand it. But sometimes they're super accurate, sometimes not so much. But look where that's bounced there. Literally a tick or 2 right off the bottom. Look where that's bounced. So it just goes to show how accurate these can be sometimes. But it does help you understand where prices go and where they're kind of likely to go. Do you wait for a channel break for a continuation if you're looking? Yeah, that's kind of my favourite channel. Waiting for a channel to break. I'd show you a trade I took yesterday, but it changed when I took it. So let me just find an example. Find an example. Okay, so here's an example here. So you can see this channel. I really like this channel. And you can see we start from here. We got 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch, another touch there, touch, touch. Fits beautifully, that does. And you can see it fits nice in that bottom tier, a little bit in the top tier. Hold on 1 second. me just check this a minute. I just don't want to miss a trade here. So we got a little thing there. See what happens here. We broke the overnight lows here, so I don't want to assume this thing's going to come down more, but it may do. Okay, I don't really like that too much anyway. So you can see when we have a break of this channel, it'll push up, make a new high or a new extreme, as we call it. And it almost always does that 9.5 times out of 10, maybe a little bit more, 97, 98 times out of 100. So we look for a little pullback there. It's had a pullback, but we look for 2 little pullbacks or a second entry. So 2, something like that, 2 little pullbacks and a strong bull bar there, giving us the indication we're pushing higher. Unfortunately, we had a little move down and it just turned. And we always like to get back to that EMA as well. It acts like a magnet and we kind of bounce off it. But unfortunately, there we didn't have a setup. But yeah, that's kind of how it works. Same here. Got a little channel moving up like that. We've had a break and a new high. So that's kind of how that works. I'm not taking anything here. We're stacking up here. So we could get a second leg here or a break. We've also broke the overnight highs. Sorry, overnight lows. So I have to give this a bit of space. I don't want to just assume it's going to continue down. That channel looks okay at the moment, but it's a little bit difficult. How do you find entries within the pullbacks? Because it can be tricky. It is tricky. Don't underestimate how difficult trading is. It's bloody hard. It takes a long time of failing and learning and making mistakes. And I mean a long time. So, you know, if you take up trading, you want to give trading a go, you've got to be prepared for the long haul because it does take a long time. But, you know, if you wanted to be a doctor or a teacher, you're going to be looking at 5 years plus. And you're going to earn more money than any of those trades. So it's worth doing in the end. But people underestimate how difficult it is because it looks easy. It's why you spend about 98% of your day sat here waiting and 2% of your day in a trade. So it's just, I mean, if you're learning to trade, if you want to learn this style of trading, I can direct you to the website that taught me. He charges a tiny amount, $125 for a year. And it's a great place to start. He's a lovely, honest guy. So if you want, I'll show you the website where you can join that. Someone took a trade here, not on this chart. Must have been on that second chart. We got a channel break. There is a channel break and a new high, but I'm a little bit cautious here because we've broken those. So you never know if this thing ranges. You never know if we bounce here. And what I will say is, if you look at Bookmap, where's the majority of the orders? Up here. There are orders down here, but this could very easily turn. So I'm just, there's nothing I would have done here anyway. It's congestion, that is. So let me just put that down there. Yes, please. Okay, give me 2 seconds. So that's congestion there. We're clearly going sideways. The one good thing that's going for it is it seems it's off here, but I wouldn't automatically short there. So let me do this. Now, this guy's been trading. It's got to be 28 years now. He's a lovely guy. He puts a video out 4 days a week on YouTube. He's been doing that for 14 years. So that's it there. He charges a grand total of $125 for a year. There's all sorts of stuff in there. There's dozens of videos on how price works. There's videos on trades. There's a forum where you can chat to other traders. There's a ton of stuff in there. There's an indicator you can use to show your second entries. There's years worth of stuff in there, and $125 for a year. You won't find any type of trading education anywhere near that. Thomas Wade, well, see, Thomas Wade charges, I think, 4 times the amount that Mac does. So to learn price action, I think Mac is better. to follow someone when you've had some experience, Thomas Wade's is good then. But I think to get a good basic education, and when you're a newer trader as well, and you don't know whether you're going to stick it or you don't know whether you're going to like it, you start off cheap. I think Thomas Wade charges $100 per month, something like that, per quarter. Sorry. Which is about $400 a year. Mac charges $125. So for a taster, I would definitely go down Mac's route. That's what I do personally. You took a failure on the CL, did you? Let's have a look. Yeah. So that's it anyway. Priceactiontradingsystem.com. But if you want to get a feel for the guy, he's also got YouTube videos on here as well. He put one out last night. I think he did, didn't he? There you go. That's him. Just kill that. So there's his videos on there. So where's there? So just put Pat's Trading. But if you look at the video section and look at oldest, he's been putting videos on here for 14 years. And that shows you stuff. Now, there are things I don't agree with how many trades he shows and stuff like that. But I think to teach newer people, I think he's okay. And as I say, $125, you don't know whether it's something you're going to want to do. You might do it for a couple of months and think, screw this. So you don't want to pay a lot of money. So as a taster, I would go for that. $125, you ain't going to go wrong. In my opinion, Mac is absolutely the worst person. For complete beginners, for me personally, that's where I would go again. Purely because it's cheap and it does talk about trading. As I mentioned, for me personally, I don't find much value nowadays from his videos, although I still watch them. So there's something that interests me to go back there. And it's cheap as well. I personally prefer free. Absolutely. I mean, there is free stuff on it, but you don't know what you're getting. Now, if someone's asking me as a recommendation, I'd say $125 for a year. You're not really going to go wrong. I mean, that's my opinion. Everyone, I understand everyone's entitled to their own opinion. We all kind of have our own way of looking at stuff. But the one thing I like about Mac, although there are things I disagree, he's a nice, genuine, honest guy. And when you're learning to trade, you really don't know what you're getting in a lot of cases. I had a friend who paid $2,500 for Warrior Trading and never came back and touched it again. So, that's my opinion anyway. But look around, see what you think. You learn free, no pay. The trouble is it's one of those things, isn't it? Free education. The thing I like about Mac is he's been doing it knocking on 30 years. So I know he's very experienced. And you guys know as well as me, if you look at people like, who's the guy? I Am Trading guy. Nice guy. But he's only been trading the same time as me. And in some cases, for a mentorship, he charges $200 a month for people. And he still struggles himself. So there's so many people out there, charging money for forums and this, that, and the other. There's always seems to be a catch. And I don't necessarily agree with it. If you're still struggling yourself, I don't think you should be charging people money. I know Wilson does it. He's a nice guy, Wilson, but I don't agree with charging people money when you're still blowing accounts yourself. So you're looking for what? I go for a flat 3 points personally. Just suits me. But Mac teaches going for a point. But that was kind of years ago. So, I'm missing some comments here. Australia still watches Mac, who is taking 110 win trade, rarely work even. Yeah, I know everyone's got their own opinion. When's your course coming out? I'll never charge anybody, mate. I've had, for one, I don't want the hassle of doing it because once you charge people, you've got to be present. I like to have my bit of freedom. And not only that, I would feel cheeky charging people to learn to trade when so many people have never charged me. I've asked so many questions for people like Marco and Dan, and they've always helped me, and they've never charged me. So as far as I'm concerned, people have helped me for free. Why should I charge anybody else? So I wouldn't charge any. I don't want the hassle of it. That's a free daily course. Yeah, I mean, I'm just like you guys. I'm here just trading and trying to make a living and trying to hit the big time. But I'm just like you guys. I want an easier life. I want more control over my life. And I want to have the potential to earn some good money. And how many jobs can you sit in your pants and drink single malt? None that I'm aware of. I think Max Forum's site is good. Good supplement when you're learning. Yeah, that's what I think. How you doing, H? I think he's good for beginners. Now, there are things you guys know that I don't, like about certain things he puts out. Yeah, yeah. Any advice you get from me may be under the influence, so take it with a pinch of salt. I think he's good for beginners to get a little bit of a taste what trading's like, because you don't want to pay a lot of money. And then once you've done maybe a few months and you think, yeah, I like this, then I would absolutely pay Thomas Wade and join a forum or join Dan's forum or something like that. At least that way, when you're mixing with other people, you can compare ideas and charts and stuff like that. But I would definitely join the Facebook group. And my bit of advice would be to post your chart every day and ask for feedback. I think Thomas Wade, more for beginners. He's much better. Yeah, see, in all honesty, I've never really been down the teaching side with Thomas Wade. But as a person, he's a nice, honourable guy, I think. So, I would probably go down the line of Mac to get a bit of basics and then go with someone like Thomas Wade. So there are a lot of good people out there. Thomas Wade's a nice guy. Dan's a nice guy as well. He's very quiet, very just nice, always willing to help. I can't tell you how many times I've messaged Dan, private messaged him over the last 4.5 years, and he's always got back to me and he's always been happy to help. So it's another reason why I'm not interested in teaching. It doesn't interest me in the slightest. I think you should pass things on. If people help you, I think you should do the same for other people. Because it's an hard business and you're going to lose a lot of money learning to trade. So if you're paying money out to people as well, it's just going to add to your misery, I think. Yeah, I mean, I'm here every day, Monday to Friday, just talking about what I'm seeing, so take what I say and what other people's comments in here and use that as a little bit of guidance. I talk about what I'm seeing and what I'm taking and why I think something's good and that. So, and there are other people in this chat that have been doing it longer than me, and it's just a shame, really. We can't post charts, really, isn't it? It's a bit silly, that is. I don't know why. Do you look at legs, bar by bar, or overall? Bit of both, really. I kind of start off with a channel like that. A little micro channel, just so I can see how prices are working. Yeah, it's not. Just keep it in mind. Looking at the chart with bars, clicking buy and sell, in principle, is easy. Doing it effectively and making money is incredibly hard. I think there's a failure rate of about 95, 98%. The reason that is because it takes a lot longer than people think, and it mentally messes with you. So if it's something you really want to do, don't give up your day job, whatever you do. Make sure you've got an income. Don't take risks. And if it's something, give it a go, have a taste of it, and it's something you want to continue, keep at it. Eventually you will get there, but it is going to take time. But you can always private message me on Facebook if you want to chat about it or whatever. I'm always happy to help. But there's enough people in this business with their hand out trying to take your money. I'm not one of them. So you can chat to me anytime. I'm quite happy to chit chat about trading. I always answer messages. I leave quite a sad and lonely existence. So I like the company. So at the moment, that is working kind of nice. My guess is if we push up, this may come into play. So we'll see. You've been studying training for 6 months, totally in, and still can't get consistency. Yeah, you're not going to in 6 months, in all honesty. Do you trade? Do you trade any type of money or any prop firms or anything like that? Let me know. Also, let me know where you're from as well, because if you're another American, I may ban you. We got enough of them. I'm surrounded at the moment. I'm only joking. You're 19. Oh man, where you from? You're a baby. Oh, well, I wouldn't be. I'm 56. I wouldn't be to 19 again. You got your whole life ahead of you. It's a great career to get into. 6 years in with help and friends, and still get confused, make mistakes, and take losses. Yeah, this is an ongoing thing. It does take time. Everyone's different. Yeah, I mean, there are some people who pick it up really quickly. I wasn't one of them. I've had to go to college. You live in Scotland. Where's the band button? We're brothers. Look, I've got single malt rushing through my veins. Okay, so you're from Scotland. Okay, fantastic. Glasgow, right. Okay. So you're 19. Are you at college or university or what are you doing at the moment? Let us know. See if we can help a youngster out. He's Scottish. He knows about. Oh God. He's from Glasgow. He probably knows about alcohol and prison bars. I'm guessing. 19. Oh, you're still a baby. I'll have to be very sensitive with the advice I give you. College, but want to make this my career. So you're at college. Okay. So you're doing education's always good. Now, what I will say is you don't need to be educated to learn to trade. Having said that, I would never refuse an education because it will make you a more rounded person. Absolutely stick at college. The good thing about trading is there's always a time to trade. Early mornings, you can trade up to about 9:30, nearly 10 o'clock in the evening from the UK on the 1,000 tick chart, have you? Go on, I'll humour you. Yeah. What I would do, I think I used to have a different thought about this, whether you risk any money or something like that. But you've made the sensible start by sticking on a demo. The next place you can go is to a prop firm, and a prop firm really is just a company that you can trade for a small amount of money, and they'll give you like a pretend amount of money, but that you can make money, and you can do it for $15, $18, $20. But as you're young and at college, you're not going to have a lot of finances. So my guess is stick with your demo account. But the only trouble with demo accounts is very easy not to take it seriously. But you sound like a smart fella, so I'd say you're doing the right thing. Stick on a demo and get a feel for it and get an understanding for it. You're only 19. You've got plenty of time to earn money. Don't worry about that. It's the 1,000 tick, the 5-minute chart. No, when it says the tick, so this is a 2,000 tick. All that means is every 2,000 trades, we form a new bar. So so there's a second entry short here, isn't there? Trouble is, we're right down low at the moment. Okay, so the bit that's concerning me at the moment is if we've got this channel here, let's get the big one out of the way. What's concerning me at the moment is we're at the bottom there. See how we're sitting in this top tier channel? We're struggling. I think we're losing a little bit of momentum. So, okay, there is a second entry on this. There wasn't here. There is on here, and it's actually worked a bit. It's a bit of a different chart, this. Let's have a look. It does look a little different, doesn't it? Yeah, see, that doesn't look too bad. I was looking at this chart at the moment. It's a wee bit different, so that's fine anyway. So where were we? Ben, you're 19, are you? You're never 19, are you? Been away for 3 years. Been trading nearly 5.5 years. Came consistent only a few months ago. I also have a part-time job. I didn't realise you were that young, Ben. Good grief. Yeah, definitely stick at college. Don't give that up for certain. Any education's good. It'll just help you in life, the whole thing. And just trade part-time. You can, as I say, you can trade on a demo. When you come to trading prop firms, you can wait till a 90% off and pay $18 or whatever, just to give you that little bit of. But yeah, just stick with the sim. My idea is you got plenty. You're young. You got plenty of time. But as Ben said, he's been trading 5.5 years. I've been trading 5 years. You're looking at that sort of time realistically to start to be able to make money. So you're 19, mate. You're a baby. You got plenty of time. God, I wish I could be 19 again. I'd have bought Bitcoin. New generation. Yeah, I mean, by the time you get older, you'll be just, it'll be all AI, won't it? Put a short this for me and stuff like that. It'll be AI, but yeah, just stick with what you're doing, mate. You'll be fine. You're a great age and a potentially good career as well. It's going to be hard, but if you've been there for 6 months, at least you haven't walked away early. So that's good. Stay off this stuff as well. 2000 tick chart is not necessarily trade, is it not? I was under the impression it was. That's what I heard from Mac years ago. 2000 tick being 2000 trades. I don't mean contracts, I mean actual trades. Maybe I've learned something new. You're 36 and you feel ancient now. Bugger off. I'm 56. Give me a break. You're still a baby, 36. I got a stepson older than you. 30, oh, you don't know. I'll tell you what, when I was 30 odd, I felt old. Trust me, you're not. You're miles away from it. You're not old, mate. You're still a baby. I mean, Christ, you've only just 5 years out of your 20s. Okay, so you're 36. Are you 36, Karina? I didn't think you were that old. So we got a little spike in a channel here and a break here. We got a channel down here with a break, so I'm a bit unsure whether this is going to go up or come down. I've got no idea. How old are you, Karina? Go on, tell us how old. I know you're not supposed to ask a lady, but I'm asking you. How old are you, Karina? I'm guessing you're in your middle 20s, I'm guessing. You're not 40? You're not 40? I don't believe that. I think you're telling porcupines. For a way to get into NL. Not sure what that is. Tagster 36 here too. Oh man, you're babies. You're all babies. Oh, you make me sick. Oh, what I wouldn't do to do that again. Come on, Karine. Everyone else has spilled their guts. How old are you? Spit it out. Come on. Come on, Karina. How old are you? You're not 40. I'm sure you're not 40. No kids, no husband. No way. Karina's not a day over 21. I'd have said, see, I've seen a picture of Karina. I stalked her once. No, I didn't. But you have a little picture on your Facebook thing, don't you? I'd say you look around about your middle 20s. I'd have said probably 25, 27-ish, something like that, in genetics. Now, the fact that you're not telling us how old you are tends to make me think you're a little bit older than I initially thought. Usually, if, mind you, I hate these people who say, oh, I'm old, I'm 28. Oh, I hate those people. You're as mind you, although I'm sort of 56, I act like a 2-year-old sometimes. I do. I'm probably the most immature person living in my house, and I've got a 17-year-old daughter. Picture on Facebook is 2021. Yeah, I think it's how old you are in your mind. I act like if I go out with a couple of mates, I act like a 2-year-old. I still get drunk and throw up and stupid stuff like that. Not that often, but it has been known to happen. What do I do here? Okay, so we got a channel down there. Now, there's always a possibility that comes into play. So we got a channel break new high. So, interesting to see what happens there. Now, if that finishes bearish, I think there's a good chance this comes down. But I'm not getting into it because I've done that before. It's the Italian blood. I thought you're Spanish, aren't you? You're Spanish. You got no Italian blood in you, have you? Are you from Argentina? Argentina. So, what comes out of Argentina? Well, Maradona and the hand of God. I've not forgot that. I remember when I was a young teenager seeing Maradona with the hand of God. I think it was in the 1985 World Cup, was it? I think. So the only two things I remember that came out of Argentina was Maradona and corned beef. There's not much else I know about Argentina, but I know you. I'm pretty much you speak Spanish, don't you? I know you're in Spain. You're in Spain somewhere, aren't you? I think. White Italian and Spaniard's blood. I got you. So you don't live in Arge, thank God. So I know the Falkland. One thing I know about Argentina, actually, they invaded the Falkland Islands in the crikey. I was only a young one then. Was that in the early 80s? I think I can't remember now. God, I can't believe how long ago that was. Argentina. I obviously know Argentina from any football. Not that I'm a football fan, but anyone out there has heard anything to do with football has heard of Maradona. Sadly, no longer with us, but an absolute. I mean, I've heard professional footballers talk about how amazing he was, even to them. Lionel Messi, exactly. Lionel Messi, obviously more. He's still playing Messi, isn't he? He's been playing for a fair few years. But yeah, regarded as quite possibly one of the best footballers in the world. Yeah, they certainly produce their footballers. No argument there. Speak Spanish. It's the one language I had a go at a long time ago. It's a lot like English, Spanish. It's not too difficult to say, and a lot of the words are very similar, but with kind of a different ending. A lot of Argentines in the UK. Is there really? You don't hear too much about Argentina lately, do you? Really? I suppose it's Venezuela at the moment, isn't it? It's all South America area, isn't it? It's Venezuela's kind of in the press at the moment. I've never been to South America. I haven't travelled much around the US. I've been to Cuba, But that's as close as I've been to sort of the US or South America. Most of my time or traveling is spent kind of in Europe and places like that. But growing up in Spain, yeah. I think most of the better players end up playing for people like Barcelona and Real Madrid and that, don't they? I think sort of those big European clubs. I used to follow football, but I ended up moving to cricket about 20 years ago. I saw some trouble from some supporters and it just put me off. It put me off. You know, sometimes you see these things and it put me off. So I ended up watching cricket 20 years ago and I've never kind of looked back. I haven't taken a trade so far this year. I took one yesterday, but that's all I've taken, I think. Tell a lie. Yeah, I've only taken the one. That short just for 10 ticks yesterday. It has been a slow start to the year, mate, hasn't it? Leading up to the 3 weeks leading up to Christmas was bloody awful, wasn't it? International side. Oh, they are. I mean, do you know, I'll tell you the story. So my little local hometown club, they had a game. And a lot of the lads used to drink in the pubs and walk up to the football ground and come back. Now, after they'd been to the football ground and I think they'd lost or whatever, and they were quite rowdy and quite drunk. And I was pulling out the end of my road onto the main road, and there was guys, young lads, about 30 of them walking over the bridge, clearly drunk, shouting, mouthing. And there was a young woman with about a 6-year-old lad on the bridge, and now a lot of young lads can be quite sensible around kids, but they didn't. And I just saw this young kid in tears, and the mother looked scared for her life. And these lads just never calmed down. They were shouting, fighting, throwing things, and it got inside me and it put me off. And I never bothered with football ever since. It's weird, isn't it? Rhodey and Hayden, buddy. I remember you taking another week. I remember you taking another 1 week or so ago. You got out for break even and not waiting for it to. Yeah, that was one. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that was a few days ago, wasn't it? Was it end of last week? It went on to win in the end, didn't it? But regretting trying to trade the NQ today. Yeah, I don't touch that thing. Moves too quick for my liking. It's a bit scary. Yeah, so I've taken 2 trades. One I got out for break even. I got break even on some of them, and for some reason I got a tick on others. But the only kind of winning trade I took was yesterday. So back in profit, but it was stressful pre-market. Yeah. I've tried looking at the NQ. The trouble is with this, you can clearly see the ticks. With the NQ, those ticks are compressed, and sometimes if I've traded the NQ and I've decided to drop a break even here, it'll push up me break even, push down, and it won't take me out. It's liable for that sometimes. I don't know why it does that, but it does sometimes. So I just don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, so we've got a look at this. We've got a bigger channel down here, I think. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. This certainly is with the break. Even if I get rid of that. In fact, that's probably better. We've got a break here, so I think there's still a good chance this is going to come down. All we've really done here, if I'm honest, is just tested here. If you look where it's closed there, right at the overnight lows. So the trouble is, I don't like it when it just does that and starts to pull back. I like to give it a chance to make a new high, because for me, you could argue there's a channel there, but it goes up, pulls back and goes up some more. So for that reason, I like that. So I've just got to give this some space now. So 97.5. There are sellers there, which is interesting. But there are buyers just below 92.5. There are buyers here and sellers here. Now, if there are buyers here, 2 legs back, this may push up. Now, if I took a second entry long here, I know there's sellers there. So how far is this thing going to go before it hits sellers? Or slippage? Yeah, absolutely. It is prime for slippage. It's prone for slippage, isn't it? Kirk, how you doing, buddy? The chance of being murdered by a kitten are quite low, but no a zero. That's a good point, mate. I'm definitely going to sleep better knowing that. But yeah, definitely slippage. You spent a weekend doing research. Okay. Excuse me a sec. Okay, second entry long. That is looking like a failure. Now, would I want to take this one? No, because this looks like a channel that hasn't made a new high yet. What does it look like on here? Yeah, I'm just not sure about this. It's a little bit congested. Let me just look at this. So you could. The trouble is, you could say it's there and we've had a break. Then you could say it's there, but if you put it there, we haven't had a break. So this still may go up a bit. But we've had a channel down here. However, looks a bit better on here actually. Now there is a failure there, but I think going short here personally is a bit risky because it's a little bit sideways and it may push up, make a new high. So for that reason, I'm not taking that failure. Put it this way, any liquidity there, that bull bar is already gone. So this may push up for a new high. So it may not, it may come down. Oh dear, Thomas Wade's gone short there. It's risky that is. Oh, I think he may be in a spot of bother here. I hope he's okay. Now, Thomas Wade's gone like that. For me, it's wrong. That's right. So I think Thomas Wade may be in a bit of bother here. Fingers crossed for him. So Thomas Wade's got that like that. Now, problem I have with that is it continues up a bit. That's fair enough. But then it pulls back and continues up some more. So if I take it to there, that looks okay to me. So there's always a possibility it may push up a bit more. Now, when I say possibility, I mean possibility. There are no guarantees, but this is a little bit congested and there'll be some stops here, some stops here. So this may have a push up. So that's why I stayed out of it. And look at it on this side, it's choppy. And when it's choppy, it's dangerous. And the fact that that bear bar's triggered by one tick and it's already put it back. Now, if there's enough sellers there, it may hold. But it's not for me. I think it's a mistake. Channel break, new low. It's congested. It's even more congested here. So you've got to leave that alone, I think. It may hold, but I wouldn't hold much hope. If there's enough, yeah, it's gone. See, it's just had risk written all over that for me. Just a little leg like that. Where's the new high from here? So He's lost that one, unfortunately. I don't like to see traders lose. He's a nice bloke. But for me, that's a channel. So there's no guarantees it's going to push up to the top. It may come down, but this for me is congested. And it's even more congested on this chart. That's the whole idea of having there. So I wouldn't take that, unfortunately. He got stung there. I don't like to see traders getting stung, but one thing I like about Thomas Wade is he's not shy about showing his losers, and I think that says that stands for the character of someone. I think someone who's honest and says, "Look, I've taken the risk. If I lose it, I lose it." And that says for me someone who looks upon trading as just part and parcel, losses, as part and parcel of trading, and it is. That's where Mac lacks a little bit. He doesn't talk about it. He's certainly never ever shown any type of loss he's ever taken. It's almost, with Mac, the only downside, it's almost like losses don't really exist. And I think when you are teaching traders, and in most cases, most people come to Mac relatively new to trading, you've got to cover losses. You've got to talk about it. It's important because if you can't stand losses, you're going to struggle. He would have done, mate, yeah. I mean, it broke down by a tick. His first profit was down here, so obviously went up. But he doesn't mind putting them on there. I think that says a lot about someone. I think a few people took that one as well. But ironically, look what happens sometimes when you do that. It ends up stopping you out by literally a tick or two and then turning in that direction. It's frustrating to hell, that. But if you look at that there, it's clearly sideways and it's very prone to push up a little bit. So I can't tell you how many times I've taken trades out in the past. You just get used to lowering him. The good thing about having a second chart, it looks even crappier. So when it's like this, you've got to stay. I mean, look at that. It don't look any more choppy than that, really. So you've got to stay out of it, really. Killers when you barely get stopped. Yeah, it's frustrating, isn't it? A lot of time when I don't do it now anymore, but a lot of the time, you guys said in the past, I'd give it an extra tick, and on the rare occasion, it made a difference, but not enough to warrant doing it, because that one tick led to 3 ticks, 4 ticks. It's not worth it in the end. The best way to do it is just keep it simple. 1 tick above your signal bar, and if you've got it wrong, you've got it wrong. But I ended up doing 1 tick, and then sometimes if I went short in here, I'd move me stop up to here, and it just made the losses bigger. And you learn in the end, it's just not worth fanning around. You just got to do it. So we got a little leg up here with 2 legs back. I think that is a channel to me. The fact that we had a pullback here and it went up a bit more tells me that it's possibly something bigger. So we got a leg up with a little correction. And is this going to try again? Who knows? Yeah, Ben, you're right. Yeah, he does seem to take a lot more losers. I don't know why. I mean, we all know lately it's been a little bit more difficult. And there has been a few more traps. And your setups now need to be more stronger than ever. Whether that's just a phase we're going through, I'm guessing it probably is. But I definitely find those setups need to be a lot clearer. But the one thing wrong about that is it is congested, really. And we've had a channel. Now, whether there's a break of that already, I don't know. But for me, if you make them tighter, sometimes they're easy to see. And that, to me, looks like one channel up. And when you get a channel, a lot of times we'll make a new high, as we know. So going short into it, for me, is a no-no. But it is frustrating for him. So the bar was here, wasn't it? There was 2 ticks. So his stop will be there. So an extra tick. He'd have had to give it 2 extra ticks. So it pushed up by 2 extra ticks, come down. I don't even know how much did it make on the way down. So if you get an ear, I think Thomas Wade goes for 3 points maximum. So it is annoying. Unfortunately, it's how it works. And usually when it is congested, that's a lot of the time how it does work. It'll stop you out for a couple of ticks, pick off what I call easy liquidity, and then up going in the same bloody direction, which is a pain in the arse. It's absolutely one channel. It looks like it to me. I know people have different opinions, but I've tried it on 2. If I put it on here, yeah, it goes up to the top and pulls back, but then it continues on up again. So that's when you kind of give it a little bit more room. And what does it look like now? Look how nice it fits here and again. So for me, it's a bigger channel, which I'm surprised Thomas Wade, because you know Thomas Wade by now, Ben. He quite often moves his channels wider before they really confirm. So I'm surprised he saw that as 2 channels. But there we go. So we've had a push up. There is a kind of pullback here. There's going to be some short strap there. I wouldn't go long here, although I think there's a chance it's going to push higher, but I just don't like any of this chop. I just don't like it. It's not really clear, is it, at the moment? So are we going to get a push up? So there is on my main chart, that bearish bar has triggered. So I won't be surprised if this pushes up, because there's bound to be some liquidity along there. Some may say that's a triple test. The fact that we've had that move down and pull back up, I'm not so sure. Because if we've had a leg up with a little correction, we could test these highs. And in doing that, we clear any liquidity across that top. And if you look on Bookmap, where are the orders? There and there, right at the top. So for me, this is more likely going to go up. But I can't really trade it because it's especially it's congested, so it may just upset you. But Rhodia, so take that second entry short, lower high. Yeah, so it's done what I thought it may do. It's cleared any liquidity and it's retesting those highs. And another reason, where were the orders? They were all up here. You had it drawn one leg because of 3 point. Yeah. But it's a move up with a correction and a second move up to test the highs. Which is kind of what's happening. You know, I don't think that was a terrible place. I think there's going to be traders going along there. Bit from Pat's point of view, there's no room to the highs, although I think, you know, I got a fair idea where I think it's going. There's no guarantees. So my guess is we'll break above this bearish bar here. And if you look on Bookmap, where's all the orders? They're all up here. So I'm very confident it'll break above there. Quite likely go a little bit higher. We've got sellers there. And we've got them right up to around about there as well. So that channel's played out now. So we've got to move up with a little correction, couple legs up to a new high. So now I still think there's a good chance this thing comes down. Now at the moment it's testing this area down here, the overnight high. So channel break, new high. This may come down soon. Carefully chose my words there. I think that measured leg takes us to here. Will it get that eye? Who knows? So orders are taken there. 05, which is there right at the measured legs. You can see them bunch of orders there. There's quite a few there. So if we hit that measured leg, I'd be interested to see whether we get any kind of rejection. Oops. we're testing. See there'll be some liquidity here, so I'd like to just tick above these 2 bars here, because as this is working, there have been traders trading there. I didn't like it, but that had a nice strong move down then. So I'd like to see it break above those 2 bars. That would clear in liquidity, and then it would test the support resistance. You can clearly see we're bouncing on it there, and we're bouncing on it there. So these legs are nice and broad. So I'm not too convinced that this is a bigger channel. I think it's just 2 legs up. One leg up with a correction and another leg up. I'd like to see it get a bit higher. Uh, I want to see it get above there and then see some real rejection. So between 2.5 and 6, there are sellers. So 6 is there, 2.5 is there. So there are sellers right in that area there. Let's get that out of the way. What did I just delete? Was that it? Okay, I'm hoping this goes a little bit higher. But we have had 2 legs up, so it may just reverse. I don't think it will, though. There are some buyers around just above 97 or so. Buyers around there, so it may go into this area. Could come down at any point. Yeah, it could do. If you look here as well, we've got a bearish bar there, so we could. One thing I've learned to trust is never underestimate these orders. Even if it looks like it's coming down, I think these are more important, these big orders here, because we've got 2, 4, 6, 7. We've got nearly 800 contracts in this area here. Not much down below apart from there. So my guess is it's going to get into this area. So even if we had a nice signal bar to go short, I trust these more now. Bookmap. Because if this can get into this area and we know price moves towards liquidity and we know there's 600 contracts within that little shaded area there. So for me, now it doesn't mean aggressive sellers can't all of a sudden sell here and this thing comes down. But I have to trust these. I can't tell you how many times they work that way. Even if I think, nah, it's got to come down with what I'm seeing, it still follows these passive orders. So for me, I got to wait. I trust the fact that it's going to push over. But as I say, you never know. So I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be a quick. Okay, now this is interesting. There is kind of a possible failure. This may come rushing down, but I couldn't take anything here, knowing these bigger orders are up here. Because there is going to be traders short in this. Now, if there's enough aggressive sellers, it may come rushing down, but I'm leaving this. I don't think that long's a bad trade, to be honest with you. Purely because those orders are up there, but I'm just sitting tight at the moment. I generally don't use bookmap to get into a trade. I look at it where to stay out of a trade. Okay, still big orders up here, so I still think this is going to go up some more. Congested, so you've got to be super careful. See these sellers here, you can see how it's reacted there and here as well. So it's definitely playing a part here. 2 bounces into this area, 3 bounces into this area, 2 bounces into this area, and here again. So for me, it'll get into here, then hopefully we get a move down, test the lows. say it takes 10,000 hours. Yeah, they do, don't they? Yeah. Hmm. Right, what is going on here? So, sellers still there, not as strong as they were. We are testing the bottom of this line here. You can see it's been tested before, so there's no setup even if you wanted to do anything here. Okay, hopefully now we get the little pop out now. Don't think you can confuse that as a bigger channel. It's a bit too shallow for me. It's not going anywhere. It's clearly struggling up here. Okay, that's interesting. This thing may just launch now. Effectively, there's a triple test. I wouldn't short that because of this. You never know if it's going to pop up because there are orders up here, not as much. But if you get enough aggressive sellers, this thing will just drop. It's clearly struggling to get up. I'm just not that confident to short there into these lows, just in case it has one more go. Come on, push. Nearly there. Come on. Trouble is, we've had a break here, 2 attempts to go lower. It may well go up. But I'm going to leave it sort itself out. I'm just going to take a quick 5-minute break, make a cup of tea, and I shall be back. I'll be about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, so we finally got into this area. So I want to see some rejection. We can push below that EMA. There is a lower high, so we're going to failure there. It may come rushing down now. Let's see. Failure be a better option. I think you're going to have a lot of liquidity here. Trouble is, around about 6 there are still some sellers, which is there, above there. So, okay, so second entry long. I'm not interested in going along here at the moment. Move down 2 legs up. Only slight concern is there are still 260 contracts there. Just going to have to set out at the moment. I need some clarity, which I haven't really got. Right now, low. See what happens. Ooh, that's interesting. Bit pushed down there. Perhaps this is finally where the aggressive sellers decide to dump the thing. Daily point of control, 710. That means nothing to me, mate. Straight over my head. I got you. I got you. I can actually see that on here, I think. Well, these, I think what I'm seeing here, I think are where prices have had more contracts. So I can see quite a bit at 15 there and at about 60. So I don't know whether it goes up there or not. My guess is this thing's coming down. I'm just a bit concerned because there are still, I don't want to just short here. We've got channel break new low. It may push up again. This thing may move up a bit higher. It's hard to say. We've got 2 legs up there. Look, I mean, right to the tick, but we're not getting enough of downward strong downward movement yet. Channel break new low. There may be a possible failure here. What I will say is if you look on this chart, there's going to be buyers here, isn't there? Thinking this is a bottom. We'll see. Weiss made me a roll. See, if you look in this area, can you see how it's reacting to price? So we pushed into it, bounced and moved up. Pushed through it there and tested it. Or bouncing up against it here, so it may drop. Oh, yep, I think everyone's behaving. Okay, is this finally the move down? We have made a nice measured move, actually. So my guess is once it's got below these, it's continuing down. I was hoping we'd get a failure here so I could short that, but we didn't. It just came down a bit, crossed and came down. I had nothing on either of my charts, really. Which is a pain, isn't it? Chris, how you doing, buddy? I meant to ask you, mate. I'm pretty sure you sent me something yesterday, and I tried to follow the link. Did you send it me with by email or something else? Because I can't find it in my emails. I ended up having to pop out last night. It wasn't you. Okay, that might have been something on the score. You were going to send me. Were you going to send me something about? Was it you were going to send me something about order flow? Sure, I can't remember. Someone was going to send me something about order flow. Someone else. Okay. Your most profitable hour was 8 p.m. Weird, isn't it? Most of my trades are around about 4:30 in the afternoon UK time, which is now. Someone was going to send me something. I didn't dream it, did I? Someone was going to send me something about order flow. Did their son do order flow or take a trade or something like that? I get so many emails. And I got an email a couple of days ago from a guy who sells healthy coffee, and he want me to put an advert on my screen for healthy coffee. I don't know what the hell that has to do with trading. I went, oh, I'm not interested, bud. Strange. Right, what is going on here? Steve, it was you. You sent that to your email address. Does your son trade or something, does he? Was that what it is? I just didn't know whether I was dreaming about that. I can't find it. I'm sure I opened it. And it linked me to a video on YouTube. Now, I pay, what is it, 12 or 13 pound a month for YouTube, so I don't have to watch, you still have, yeah, did you send me something on Vlad's thing, did you? I had something pop up. I think you sent me a message, didn't you? Is it that? Look. Okay. I sent you the video. That was it, I think, wasn't it? I think that was it. Did see that. Using order flow. Your son, yeah, it was. I thought I didn't know I streamed that. As a new trader, done a course on order flow and a paid subscription. Not cheap. I think it's worthwhile. It was Friday, was it? I had a feeling it was something yesterday. So, yeah, look. Friday. I'm pretty sure I opened something. But you know when you open something and I couldn't get into my YouTube channel, I kept asking me for password and stuff. And I was on my phone at the time. Hold on a sec. Not there. It's definitely Friday, was it? Oh no. So I've got two conversations going on here. Do me a favour, Steve. Can you send me that again on my email, bud? Sorry to be a pain. Chris, you still plan dropping onto Vlad's? Yeah. I thought that was that message. Yes, bud. I have it kind of on here, and I do have a little bit of a pop on it from time to time. See, I'm in Dan's, Thomas. I was in Penguins. There's not much on here, but I did pop my trade on here, I think, yesterday. Did I? Yeah, I'm sure I did. Oh, hold on a sec. Yeah, that was a trade I took yesterday. We got the channel up, 2 little legs with a break, new high, and then working down, second entry short. Yeah, so yeah. I just couldn't commit to see Fridays is difficult for me because I'm obviously trading and obviously I trade for a living, so I got to try and earn money. So I don't want to miss that day. And sometimes, we'll go out for a walk or we go out for Sunday dinner or we might visit people. So I can't always commit on a Sunday. That's the only downside. Yeah, put it on there, mate. Just move my. .com. Trader, hotmail.com. Yeah, bud. There you go. Yeah, I'd appreciate that, mate. If you can. So there is, we got channel down here with a break, couple of attempts to go lower, and then we moved up. Eventually we dropped out of here and then dropped nice and quickly. We cleared this out, but we didn't make it down to the bottom. Now this is moving back up. So whether we're ranging a little bit now, I'm not so sure. Yeah, see, what I did, when I started trading, like most things I do, I go over the top. I got a bit obsessed with it and I wasn't sleeping at night. I was looking at charts and videos and that throughout the night and wasn't sleeping properly, and weekends as well. And I just found it was just getting me down a bit. So in the end, my wife went, "Well, you need to spend some weekend time away from trading and get that break." And I found I worked better. I felt much more refreshed come Monday morning. That was a while ago. I'm okay now. I just don't want to commit to Fridays every time there's a triple test here. Channel break, new high. It's interesting. This is. So I think I work better. Sometimes we'll take the dogs out, we'll go out for a walk and stretch the legs, or we might go out and have a bit of a pub lunch or something. So yeah, I like that. So sometimes if I'm not doing nothing, I'll hang around. You done it, have you, bud? Nice one. Thank you, Steve. Yeah, it's nice to have that bit of time off, isn't it? It's not necessarily just family time. My daughter's out with a boyfriend sometimes. My wife might be out with a sister, but it's just nice for me to have that break, and it cleared things up because I start getting a bit weird. It was all I was thinking about. I was having nightmares about bars and stuff. It's just odd. So 1, 2, 3. This is the third time now we're working into this. We got a channel break. If we get a lower high here, I'm tempted to have a short. If that's bearish, I don't think that's the worst trade in the world based on 1, 2, 3. But you never know. So I'm just going to leave it because we have still got some sellers there. So, but you can say 1, 2. It's clearly 3 tests, isn't it? We got channel, a couple legs down, 1 leg up, second leg up. So I don't think that's the worst trade in the world. I generally don't like these types of trades. They're not my strong point, but it is working. It certainly looks like it is anyway. Yeah. See, I'm not what I would consider Discord savvy. And I remember I looked into it once. I clicked on summon and I had messages and friend requests going back months and months. And I didn't really realize I had them. So I deleted them in the end. But yeah, I wasn't aware that this thing up here was messages. So I did delete them in the end. They were going back ages. But now I know what they are. But if you want to get hold of me, you can either email me or just Facebook me, Facebook private message me. That's where most people do, and we can have a chat that way, or however you want, mate. My phone's always on. You're in short here, are you? I don't like taking this type of trade, but generally they do seem to work. I'm just a bit paranoid lately. The only thing that makes me slightly concerned is we've still got 256 contracts there. That's why I left that. But if you're out with 2, good on you, mate. Yeah, I mean, there's 2.5 points. Depends on where you get in. 2.25, 2.5 points there. Back to the MA. But you can clearly see 1, 2, 3. It's clearly tested this 3 times. Trouble is, we have pushed down. We did continue down. So at the moment, it's not super clear, but we bounced a bunch of times here and it took off. So this thing could shoot down. But it's a little bit messy and not super clear. So right, let me have a quick look at the 10,000 tick chart. That might clear things up a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, and then down possibly. It's hard to say, really. We have made 1, 2 attempts to push lower, so this thing could potentially move up. But isn't it weird? That's where those, remember I marked there where all those sellers are. Look how it's reacted to here, and here as well, and here as well. Isn't it weird? So people have these levels for a reason because they're respected. And that's how a lot of people trade their levels. When I first started trading currency, that's how we'd start the day. We'd start with a line and then we'd put in our levels on the 15 minutes, the hourly and the daily, and we just trade in between levels. That's kind of how it works. But you can clearly see, look how that is respecting there. Look, amazing, isn't it? So, trouble is this could push through here now because we have made a bunch of attempts. So the simple answer is if it's not clear, just leave it alone, and it's not clear for me. Those orders there are concerning me. By Hotmail. Yeah, nice one. Thank you, mate. I'll have a look at that. Sorry about that. Okay. Glad I left that. As I say, it got nearly back to the MA, but those orders there, that's the bit that concern me. Now we're above this. Be interesting to see how this reacts. I think it's made enough attempts. We had a strong move down there, but the thing just completely reversed out of there. So I'm not of the opinion now that we're going to come down and test this area. I think we've made a couple of attempts. So be interesting to see where this goes from now. I have found that spending money in strip clubs can be quite. I've only ever been to a strip club once. I've led quite a solitary life. It was in, where was it? It was in Palma Nova about 15 years ago. Me and my wife went with some friends. palming over. It was definitely a new experience for me. I come out very much uh, financially worse than when I went inside. Put it that way. You don't get many of them in the UK, mind you. There are probably some in the city, places like London, I dare say, or like London, Manchester, Birmingham, but not where I live. So, okay, so you mentioned point of control up here, didn't you? Excuse me. So, I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down and tests this area again. We pushed up and tested it twice before it took off. Same again, we pushed through it, pushed up, tested it twice, and then obviously that was more than news. So, let me see if there is any spike in the channel there. That looks about right to me. So, I'd expect a break here and lightly test this area. There is a few buyers here, just over the 5, which is well, more or less in the middle there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had a little drop down here and test this area here. You shorted that, did you? Just by the nature of how things work, my guess is it's more likely to test this area, although there are no guarantees. I don't use those point of control things. I don't. Well, I kind of know what they are, but I don't kind of follow them. It doesn't kind of fit within my way of trading. But in fact, there are sellers at 10 there, so that's interesting. So there are sellers there, which may mean we get a little push up and then a push down. So maybe we get a second entry long to go long. So tested it here. That pushed up. That made points. That eventually made points. So the few tests here, it did work. So interesting to see whether it tests it once or a couple of times. So let's just put that like that for now. Let's see what happens. So there are sellers at 10 and sellers at 12. So 12 is above price. That's fine. Sellers there. So if we push up, hit some sellers, come down for a second leg, test this twice, and then maybe push up to these sellers up here. That's interesting. So little micro there. 3 little bars, 1, 2, 4 little bars with a little break and new high. Would I go long here? It doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look terrible. My only slight concern is I can see we got sellers there, literally 1.75 above this. So I don't want to trade into sellers because we may come down for a second leg. On this chart, it doesn't look terrible, but they really do make a difference. Seeing these sellers there. So there's 170 odd contracts for sale there. buyers around about the 5, which is in this little gap here. So I'd like to see something like that, and then something like that. Okay, see what happens if it hits these sellers. Some of those have been yanked. Okay, any sellers that were there, they're gone. So there are sellers there, and there are buyers here. That's quite a strong pull, so that would indicate to me it's more likely going to go like that before it comes down, especially if you look, the aggressive buyers are double at the moment. So I think it's probably going to hit this level. It's a little bit higher instead of coming down, unfortunately. Okay, so close strong as well. So 203 contracts right there. Okay, boom, straight to them. So you can see how this works. It's really reliable. We pushed up there, and some of the, I mean, you could see there. I mean, I wouldn't attempt to go long there, but Bookmap was telling me that it was more likely to go up before it came down, even though we had buyers down here. But the sellers up here were much stronger. So it's the magnetic pull, for want of a better word, was much stronger up top than it was down there. So interesting. Now, is there something a little bit wider? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. So there could be something a little bit wider there. So it tested it, didn't quite get in there, but it had a good go. I think we tested it 3 times here and managed to get above it, so it didn't take much to come back before it started moving on up some more. So let's get rid of the larger one. I think it's irrelevant now. That's a nice fittings channel there. We had a break, 2 attempts to go lower. We had a third attempt, but as soon as it got down, it came down and turned and pushed up just as quick as it had come down. So we've had 2 good attempts to go lower. Traders weren't interested. They just came in strong and up it went. I can't see that we've had a break here. You may do, but it's touching beautifully right the way along there. Perfect all around there, and not in one place, 1, 2, 3 places, and same there a bunch of times, and it's fitting lovely, bouncing nice and neatly off that midline, so that looks okay to me. So Salah's up there at 15. 200 odd contracts there. Now let's see if that gives us a small break. How many trades, Kirk? I'm reckoning double figures. Ah, actually, looking at this, you mentioned in point of control where the most amount of contracts traded. That's that number there. It's very small. You might not be able to see it. It's 5,274. And what is it? 7010. So you can see there, that's the most. I knew there was something on here. I tend to pay attention more to this, but I knew there was something on there which showed the amount of contracts traded at a specific level. And you can clearly see it there. 5,274, I think it is. And that's the most in this whole band here. And that's right at 7010. So, yeah, I suppose. I mean, I mean, you've only got to look here, haven't you? 10, where's 10? Right in the middle of this. So, up, down, up, down, up, down. And same again. So, yeah, I suppose so. That makes sense, doesn't it? It's always useful to know these things. You never know. It's always nice to know that the market may react at a certain level for a specific reason. So we're about to hit some sellers up here. Now, for me, this is starting to lose just a bit of momentum. So this may create a break. You can see that was the overnight highs there. You can see a little bit of support resistance along there. So maybe this is the time to take profits if traders went long up here. So I'm not sure whether that's a valid or whether it's more something like that. It's hard to know, really, isn't it? Trouble is, not sure there. See if I can see any other opinions. Yeah, someone else has done that. That actually doesn't look too bad, I think. Touch in there with a break there. In fact, I'll take that a bit tighter. So break, 2 pushes to a new high. Okay. That's why we're having sellers at 15, you think, up here, this area. Now, there's always a possibility that we may have a spike in channel and we end up going up like this. I'm not sure at the moment. Maybe it's, well, see how this reacts. Let's see. What's this doing? Okay, so nut is up nice. Who else? Alpine. Yeah, he's down a chunk. Nutty it used to be Alpine used to do better, but it's Nutty tends to do better than Alpine now, doesn't he? Alpine tends to have a lot of these boom and bust type. Uh, okay, buyers at 10. Interesting. So buyers here, sellers here. We're going sideways because we're in the middle of these two. My guess is we're more likely going to come down to here before we push up. That's if we do, of course. Wow, ES sucks. Yeah, it certainly does a bit lately. You're not wrong about that. CL's not much better either. Okay, we're coming down to these buyers here. See if we get buying here. Hmm. And the one failure. Like a bloody mess to me at the moment. You on about that one there, are you? Mm. Now, you could argue a failed breakout there. The only trouble I had, I was just looking at that. There's a possibility we've already had a break in a new high, so I'll be cautious there. Now, there are sellers at 14. Back 14 and a quarter, which is there below the highs. So I don't know how I feel about this. So I'm just sitting tight. There is a possibility, see, that we've already had a break. If I take that down there and push that up, touch at the top, there is a possibility we've already had a break. It doesn't mean it can't pull back and continue up. It just means we've got to give it a bit of a space. Now, you could say there's a little bit of a range going on there, and this could possibly be a failed breakout. But as we've had what looks like it could be a break and a move up, you just got to give us a little bit of a wide berth and give it a chance. Not that one. So that bar, it's only a small bar, it's only 6 ticks, but it's triggered. It may well push up, but I'm just sitting out of this a minute. I am. see, Thomas Way's got it like that. I'm not so sure. This market's choppy and risky at the moment. If we have had a break seat, this could be trapping longs. It's hard to say. Yeah, so any longs that got in there got stopped out. It does look like a break. That's the trouble, really. If traders have got like that, they're going to be looking for longs there. Now, that went enough. So whoever took it may have got some points out of it. Didn't got as much as I thought. See, they got a point and a quarter at it. Maybe a point and a half, depends. But it's coming back to this area again now. This is interesting. You can see how it plays this constantly. See how it reacts to it. So far, it's slicing straight through it. Interesting. Interesting. At least it's bloody moving though. Straight through. No bother. It's amazing, isn't it? Where these orders were, you can just see. Yeah, it wasn't a bad trade, actually, to be fair. You may not even got in there. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention there. I was zoomed out looking at this, but yeah, you're right. Sellers there. Buyers at 7,000. Decent second entry short wouldn't be a bad option there. Channel break new high. We just can't get higher. We've had a strong move down, so a little second entry short there wouldn't be terrible. Oh, hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I thought something looked a bit different here. I flipped on the 2,000. Sorry, the 1,000, didn't I? To have a look at it. Sellers at 10. See if we're reacting off this area again. See if we get a couple of bounces. This may shoot up. Let's move up, break new high. 2 attempts to go lower. See if we can get a strong move above that EMA. We got sellers at 10 again there. We've got quite an even amount of buyers and sellers above, which is why it's probably just doing some of this. Richard. Yeah, I don't think I'm far behind you, mate. I've been going 3 hours. 15 minutes before. I'm going to give it another 15 minutes, I think. It's been a bit slow today, isn't it? Appreciate your company, pal. You have a good one. See, it's bounced in this area again, isn't it? So you don't know whether it's bounced there and bounced again. We did the same. We pushed right to the bottom and bounced a couple of times and off it took. So, do you know what? I was looking at a possible second entry long. Look at that thing flush down. What's causing that? That's news, that is. Now, there was a quick flush down, but then it's bounced back quick. This looks like news. Look how it's all gone black. Something's happened in the news there. Look at Bookmap. It's all gone black. So people have just yanked orders now. Something's happened in the news. I was looking at a second entry short, but we've bounced off the bottom and bounced off the top, so I think it's a bit risky. Friggin' Fridays is that? Whoa, everything went blank. Something's a bit weird here. So there may be something like that, leg down correction. Trouble is, this area here is proving a difficult place. So is that going to push through or is it going to bounce off? It's hard to say. know Trump's due to speak at 7 o'clock tonight, which is still nearly an hour and a half, not far off an hour and a half. Okay. Sellers at 5. That's interesting. Sellers there, buyers at 7,000. Okay, I think I'm going to knock on the end there for the day. So I've done about 3.5 hours in total today. Not a great day. It is moving. I mean, there could have been some setups, but just it wasn't great, was it? It's still got quite a lot of chop there. Does look like we may get a second leg down. You're welcome, Chris. We've got a move down there with kind of a bit of a messy correction, and it does look like we may be getting a second leg down there, but who knows? We'll see. So I appreciate your company. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great evening. Stay safe, and we'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.